Sometimes in QReader, you may want to do AQL statements, whether those are as part of a search or they can be part of a rule that has an AQL embedded, etc., against your users, and they may be in Active Directory. However, if you want to do this on a periodic basis, the people from Active Directory will not give you access for you to make API calls, and that can be cumbersome, political problems, etc. But there's no need to deal with any of that, and that's the reason for this video. There's a feature not very well known in QReader that when you enable the free UBA component, you can, of course, UBA creates a Postgres database, but it's not exposed. You cannot make access to it. UBA actually needs it to see all the users that are on their particular name, so you can add all the risks for those users, but it's not exposed. However, there is a feature that allows you to duplicate that table into a reference map. So you can have your reference table that can be used by any other component of QReader, not just for UBA. How you access that? When you go here, I'm under the UBA tab, and if I go into this gear and scroll all the way to the bottom, I have this option for user import. In most cases, you will be doing this, add, and you go to an LDAP, which will be your Active Directory. You ask the Active Directory people a read-only access to retrieve that data, and all that is good. But I don't have access to an LDAP right now, but I can explain the same thing by importing from a CSV file. So I'm going to go here and select this option, the third option, CSV file. And I'm going to select a file that I have of a fixed issues company. So I click here, browse, and it's going to be this SYC Corp, and that file is uploaded. This is the kind of data that now I can retrieve in my AQL. When I click next, that's the feature that I want you to be aware of, this synchronized reference table. And when you click here on this button, you are given the option to create a reference table and even generate a map of sets that you can further manipulate that. Calling mine XYZ Corp. Here you can select the Cloud Identity ID or the UUID, which is what I'm selecting right now, and I'm going to generate also a map of sets. And now when I click next, those tables are actually generated. Let me show you where those are. We can close this panel and we can go under QReader, and this is also a free app that if you don't have it, I'm sure you may want to, is the reference data management. And if I search here for XYZ Corp, notice that I have a reference table, and the table still is being actually populated. There's a lot of data in there. And when I click on it, I see, all those user IDs, and there are, 168 pages of those, right? So now, once you have that table, that is like any reference set or map of set or any other table that you have in QReader, how do you go with the AQL statement for that? I'm going to show you a few links that gives you ideas. Depends on what you want to do. You may want to execute different AQL statement. Let me show you the pointers to the QReader documentation about it, and those links I'm going to put them in the video description of this video, so you can actually access those easily without having to search for them. The first link is this one, where it has a whole bunch of examples about how you retrieve data from usernames in a table like the one we just created. And the other one is this link that has some AQL functions that you can use to perform, reference set contains, different AQL functions that can be useful in this context. So now with this UBA component, you have a mechanism without having to deal with the Active Directory folks or dealing with that sensitive piece of the organization. You have your very own table where you can perform AQL, Pulse dashboard, whatever is it that you need that contains information regarding your users in the company.